Sad news out of Peoria today. Disappointing news. I don't think it's the end of the world, but Joe Musgrove, he's going to be out at least a couple weeks. Not going to be throwing on the mound for at least a couple of weeks. Bob Melvin said Musgrove dropped a kettlebell on his toe while working out on Monday. So that's a blow for the Padres, but they do have depth, right? They signed Waka, Lugo. They were going to go with the six-man rotation to start the season anyway. So maybe they go to a five-man now instead of a six if Musgrove's going to be out. Because Bob Melvin said a minimum of 2 weeks with the media earlier this morning. So if you go to 2 weeks, minimum of 2 weeks, that takes him out from throwing till March 13th, March 14th, somewhere around there. And let's say it's another 2 weeks till he's ready to get back, in games, like spring training games. That's the end of March. That's like the last week of spring training games. And he's probably going to need to ramp up in those, right? He's not going to have one spring training start, something like that, and then just be ready to go. So he could miss the first time around, could miss the second time around. The good news is this happened in spring training. This isn't an injury that's going to be a season-ending injury. I think what's important here is that the Padres, they don't let this injury linger, right? Musgrove doesn't let this injury linger. He's someone that wants to be on the mound, right? He is a competitor, but it's early in the season. The Padres, they can go with the five-man. If Jay Groom or Brent Honeywell or Reese Kinnear or Ryan Weathers or Julio Tehran, someone like that can step up in spring, maybe they get a six-man spot. Maybe Nabil Chrismat can be the six-man, and they can have one of those other guys fill Nabil's spot in the bullpen. It's not the end of the world. Like they're okay. So we need Joe Musgrove for the majority of the regular season. We need Joe Musgrove for the postseason. We don't want this to become a bigger issue here. Like if he aggravates it again, right, and then misses more time. So let's just, make sure that this injury is only something that's happening now and they can get this thing healed. Don't need to push it in spring training. I know Joe wants to be out there, and this sucks. Dropping a kettlebell on his toe, fracturing it, and being out a couple weeks, and now this is going to put him behind, right? The schedule, a couple weeks behind schedule. That sucks. But the good news is, it seems like the Padres have the offense to score. Let's say they go with a six-man or something like that, and these depth guys maybe don't, go 6 innings, giving up 1 run in outings. They give up 4 or 5 runs. Maybe the offense can win some of those games because of how talented the offense is. That's a good thing, right? And I mean, hats off to AJ, right? And the front office, bringing in Lugo, bringing back Martinez, bringing in Waka, bringing in Tehran, right? Having Jay Groom, obviously, and Weathers, working with Weathers. Niebla, I believe, did, and Weathers, working his butt off in the offseason. Seems like he's in a better spot. Bringing in the depth that they needed going into spring training because they knew that the injury-free, pretty much, rotation like it was last year, at least the top guys, what were the odds of that happening again in 2023? Probably not great, right? And we can see it right here. Joe Musgrove fractured toe. He was healthy last year, but it's hard to be healthy all the time and year in, year out. And I know this isn't the good news here. Another thing that's the good news. So there's a couple things that are good news here, right? The injury sucks, but it's at the beginning of the season. Or not even the beginning of the season, but you get what I'm saying. The beginning of the calendar year for the season in spring training. Hadn't even made a spring training start yet. So there's plenty of time for him to heal and be ready for the big games, right? And this isn't an arm injury. This isn't an injury that he suffered pitching, right? It was a weight that dropped and fractured the toe, which still, it sucks. It's a fracture. And he's still going to have to work his way back, and he's going to be behind, right? Behind schedule. But it's not something where, he's going to be out for the year because it's an arm injury, right? That's the bright side here. So I'm trying to look at it from the bright side a little bit here. They have depth. The depth has looked good at the beginning of spring training here. I know it's spring training, but I'd rather have it look good than not after, or before this injury happened, right? So that's good. Jay Groom's going to be on the mound today. Tatis, he is going to be in the lineup batting second for the Padres, DHing against the Giants in Scottsdale. Juan Soto was supposed to be in the lineup, but he's not going to be, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong there. According to Bob Melvin, he's fine. He's going to be doing backfield at bats. So I'll see you guys after the game later today. Padres Giants today, a little afternoon. and we can talk more about this Musgrove injury. We can talk about Tatis, Soto, all the Padres stuff. I'll see you later.